All right, Big Bomb. Oh, there Huichuk's on the memes again with the Nano Bastion. All I know is pain. Okay, chat, just because this is experimental, I'm going to try and talk to you more often because I want to be more like blah, 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 instead of trying to just listen to other comms, provide some more commentary here. So, yeah. So Dylan's, from my experience in running these pugs, Dylan's a pretty good tracer player. Huichuk is a bit of a memer, but he's best on Doomfist, and sometimes he pulls out Bastion when he gets bored. Sathrox, as far as I know, is a good Zarya player. I'm not familiar with Quaggity's main tank ability. Extor is a good flex support. Lo-Fi is a good main support. Mercy E-Girl was playing Soldier, and we were working on some like flanking stuff with him previously. AK Death is a pretty decent projectile DPS player. Psycheric is somebody who we actually have had on a super team before, as well as kind of participated in the last season of the Jayne show. Thrawn has had some personal coaching with people from Pico, as both kind of like paid sessions, as well as they were Thrawn was part of the earlier coaching program. And then Americ I only recognized recently, but has a really solid main support. And so it's actually kind of funny. Of the people in this lobby who I'm most unfamiliar with is Big Bomb and Quaggity, who are the two main tank players. So Quaggity's I love it. I love it how chat knows Quaggity's playstyle. Quaggity is a shift Reinhardt. All right, so chat, who do you want to start looking at? They're playing double sniper, are they? Well, let's start with the main tanks and see how they're doing. Let's start with attacking main tank, actually. Okay, so good fire strike off the bat. Going into the swing. Got the bubble. A bit of slow reaction to swinging with that bubble to try and get some energy. Trying to back out. He's frozen and dead. All right, so didn't work out too well for him, but I mean, it's the very, very first one. And this lobby, just from inviting people, I think this is around a Masters lobby, but like right on 3,500. And he didn't press shift. You're lying, chat. You're lying. Thrawn and Psycheric have individual coaching VODs. I'm not sure if Psycheric does. Thrawn does, though, yes. There are VODs on the Pico YouTube channel of Thrawn getting coaching. If you recognize last week as well, Thrawn was the Baptiste that had an incredible amount of damage dealt. He's going to back off. That AK Death, good off-angle freeze here. Quaggity's in trouble, but he's got that amp heals, and his shield's down. All right. So this off-angle Mei from AK Death is causing a lot of problem. But let's take a look at Sathrox on the Zarya to see how Quaggity is being supported here. Jayne, I've been in the recent plugs, Blue Blaze. Do you have advice for me, or do you not know what the hell I want? Do you not know what the hell I want from you and want me to leave you be? Well, don't leave me be, but I haven't seen enough from you to recognize your playstyle yet. Yeah, good early shatter lands the back line. Sathrox trying to do some cover, landing in front of the wall. That enemy Zarya, those Psycherics on him. Yeah. Big slam landing 2. Would be able to kill the Mei if he lands the fire strike on her. Nice. Does end up doing that. Is Psycheric going to be able to clutch this out? Okay. So a few, like, not the greatest synergy in the world right off the bat off of Quaggity and Sathrox, but I guess that's to be expected. Good late game shatter, but I mean, chat, you are right. We did see a pretty aggressive shift there from Quaggity. So let's see the grab here from Sathrox. Why do people hold by point instead of entrance to the choke? So that you have the opponent spamming as they approach instead of getting spammed as you retreat. There's that wall coming out early. They've still got both bubbles. That should be fine. Grabbing. Yep. Great job. Good counter grab. I love that they waited that long. They, like, blue team there tried to overcommit with getting the wall, but not having either of the bubble out, and they weren't together enough to actually punish that. Like, they had the McCree, but I didn't see a flash come out above to try and actually get some damage on them. And then good cleanup on Mercy E-Girl as well. So let's take a look at Quaggity just for a little bit. How often will you be switching lobbies? I won't be. So this pug will go for the full 2 hours. So I want to be looking for early fire strikes here. There's good, especially the time travel is going to be enough for the bubbles to expire there. Moving up a little bit to make sure that the Doomfist can get out. There's the wall already coming out. They should be fine here. Wants to charge out of that because of the... Interesting. They're using beat and nano and bubble to keep Quaggity up. Oh, come on, Big Bomb. You must have known that was coming. I mean, one of the only things that could have lost that for blue team was if that shatter was allowed to happen. And they let it through. So Huichuk is... So one of the things that makes Huichuk annoying is not only because he plays a really, really aggressive Doomfist, but also because He asks for support from his team and gets it. If he's got a Mercy, that Mercy is damage boosting. If he's got a Zarya, that Zarya is bubbling him. So let's take a look at Rein some more here.
Hello there. K.O.
Just staying on these high grounds, trying to be in a good rollout position.
Is there a reason the payload...
Gonna try and do some sort of rollout start. Just trying to find an area that he can start this rollout from. Gonna be a little bit late, but now that that's started, goes for that high damage untargeted. The high damage untargeted is going to be a lot higher damage if you can actually land it. Targeted slam like that, you can see that like the targeted slam there, it went in, but because it was targeted, even starting on the high ground, it only dealt about 52 damage. So the general rule is that whether it's like 47 or 55, a targeted slam, regardless of range or starting point, like that one was 54 damage. Targeted slams are almost always going to do somewhere in that range. They aren't going to do anywhere close to the maximum damage that a targeted slam can do. Like that one was 75 damage. It was an untargeted slam. But untargeted slams also make it really, really difficult for follow-up damage, because if the opponent's too far away, even if you do land the, even if you do land the slam, the distance of your E, the one that actually knocks people up just a little bit, is going to be farther away than your uppercut. And the closer that they are with the actual uppercut, it's going to be easier to land your actual shotgun shells into their face. And for a lot of finishing combos, it does require that you actually hit those shotgun shells. So let's see if he tries to set up for another rollout here. Probably getting transition to the... Oh, just going in for a straight line. Yeah, you can't be letting that happen. Whenever you see a Doomfist punching in like that, you know, one of those things is that the Doomfist can pretty commonly bait an enemy Reinhardt there. So the Reinhardt can't countercharge from that distance, especially if there's a little bit of a distance between the two of them. Yeah, see, like those kind of kills are one of the things that makes Huichuk such a good Doomfist here, is that left click there, all of them were headshots. So if you just using his abilities here, that's not enough. Like he's extremely, extremely accurate with his left clicks, and that's what's allowing him to get the burst damage enough to get target kills there. But in terms of like a Doomfist punching in, if he's able to actually get that punch and get somebody knocked into the wall, he's got a very easy escape with the uppercut and then the E back to his team, or the uppercut and then the E back onto the high ground. So in that situation, there's nothing really that you can do other than take cover or just line yourself up directly behind your tanks, because your tanks are going to get knocked back, but it's not going to be the end of the world, and it makes sure that the Doom still has to set back up in some other way, and his threat is really low when he's punching back in if you're properly taking cover or hiding behind your tanks. There can be a lot going on, and if you aren't recognizing the sound cue or keeping track of the Doomfist, hard to see, but in that situation, with the Doomfist not being able to countercharge, and the Zarya not being able to reactively bubble fast enough, that's pretty much the way you have to play around him. Alright, let's take a look at the second DPS on red team, and see what he can get done. A little bit of a passive position, not the worst thing in the world, but definitely going to be harder to hit the arrows. And still brought, yeah, he's moving up a little bit more aggressively here. Dropping a Sonic would be nice so that he can see things, especially on the other side of that statue. Looking for it now on the high ground. Yeah. So his team still won, but he didn't provide a lot of value here just because he took a much more passive position. So let's get back off. Let's see where he takes a... This is a good spot, trying to get some good picks. They don't really have anything that can threaten a one-shot here. So, yeah. I would have liked to see the Sonic being used a little bit later to help the Doomfist know when to engage just visually instead of having a call-out. But yeah, another really good engage there. This is a good aggressive position because he can back out as well. The little jump is going to be just a great shot. Close enough range that, again, lands that headshot and is going to be able to escape. So, Quaggity just... Quaggity just transitioned across the screen. So, really good level of aggression from Dylan, using that, like, even though it was on the ground, it was still using the like the mobility in a way, just enough ability that he can escape with it. So now is going to be a time where he is going to have to play a little bit differently because the enemy does have a Widowmaker. So now there is something at long range that can threaten him. And with them playing Rein Zarya, if the Doomfist can't get to the Widowmaker, because the Widowmaker's on a higher ground position and the Doomfist doesn't have a rollout, it is going to last or fall to the responsibility of the Hanzo to actually get these kills. Great flank once again. This one isn't being taken care of by blue team, so Dylan exploiting this hotel, like, that's free. It needs to be, you know, you can't have your backline positioned there the way that blue team's being positioned without yeah, it's like it's one of my favorite things to do, right? Somebody is going to exploit hotel, and if you don't, the opponent is going to. So
which is unseen.
want to see this see how the dragon is used, because graviton was already used. So both Doomfist and Hanzo are in the same location. I don't like that. I'd like to see either the Doomfist in the location or Hanzo, recognizing this, rotate to the higher ground position on the far left, get a different angle. There's the high ground disruption. I don't think it's going to do anything. Thrawn died. Oh wow, we went in that hard because he did have the meteor strike. So, and that was the diag engage, I believe. So I think that Huichuk punched in, uppercutted, and then slammed to the backline because he had the meteor strike. But I still would have liked to see the reposition from the Hanzo, knowing that that was what Huichuk, or where he was engaging from. Because if he had been on that high ground, it would have been a lot cleaner, just direct sight lines into apply damage. So 60 seconds here. Dragon on point to split. It does get one. Okay. And next door is going to be the last one with a nano boost. So let's see what they do here. Oh, the stagger here. Oh, wow. It is going to connect to the wall. All right. So who would you nano boost in this situation, chat? Type in chat with your prediction. Who would you nano boost? Good nade, going for it. Boosting the Rein. Oh, interesting. All right. Good round. Good first round. I've seen what Huichuk can do with a nano, and he's terrifying. Let's see what we got. We'll look at Xtor first, and then after. Well, let's look at Lo-Fi first, just because he seems to be speeding out. So they're playing the double bubble with the Zarya and the Winston. Gonna make it pretty hard to play against a Doomfist. Winston's not very good for getting rid of Doomfist. And the Zarya bubble's going to be wanting to be used on Winston, so it can't really be used as a counter. Good scouting here from Lo-Fi. I like using the little high ground in the safe space to try and figure out some information about what's going on. Huichuk actually is going to be playing the Genji here, not the Doomfist, so this is actually a really nice counter pick there. Winston's going to work very well against Genji, obviously. Lo-Fi being a little bit of a firefighter here. A little bit dangerous there. A very aggressive footing overall, and I'm not sure if it was for much of a point. So Xtor is going to be a little bit more open there to get eliminated with Lo-Fi dropping like that, basically senselessly. I think he was first pick, or if not, probably certainly the most impactful pick that blue team got. Sonic on the wall or the ground. You want to be sonicking an area, not an enemy. I'd like to be seeing some scouting on the left side. I don't think Lucio's looked over there. Looking now. But certainly with the wall ride is the speed, and as well as just being how hard you are to hit. You can be one of the best best scouts. Thrawn's really low. Could have been a hard engaged target there. Thrawn goes down anyway. Red team kind of doing this collapse here. So, yeah. Lo-Fi's doing, like, has a very aggressive footing and is kind of getting generic value. But I don't see kind of, like, trying to enable specific teammates going for a win condition. Like, not trying to specifically enable Huichuk, specifically enable Quagony. Yeah. So, but definitely an aggressive kind of neutral playstyle. Or being aggressive in the neutral is what I'm trying to say. Not a neutral playstyle. An aggressive playstyle in the neutral. There's a Flux coming out. Definitely, one of the things that I don't like about Lo-Fi's playstyle, probably the thing that I like the least, is how much the other support is being ignored. So, Xtor definitely not getting much assistance at all, I would say. So, especially with playing an Ana, a character that needs more help, either Xtor's not calling for help, Lo-Fi's not tracking the requirement for help as much as necessary. So, yeah, they lost even having used Nanoblade. So, we'll watch this beat, and then we'll take a look a little bit more at Xtor. Jayne, I've been loving the new uploads. Really have been helping me. I'm glad. It's been nice to kind of see the channel come back alive, going back to Overwatch, and it's nice to see that people are still enjoying the content, the coaching content, even with the game almost being 5 years old now. So that's pretty cool to see. So they have the beat. Let's see how they use it. Oh, Dylan manages to take out AK Death, so that should be a pretty easy thing here. Huichuk in trouble, does get stunned, retreats out to the Mega. Good stuff. No one was really, from Red Team here, was supporting that. I'm not sure that wow, that was a frag. Woo, spicy mechanics there. I think that was like a pretty Pavlovian beat. They were already up 2 at that point. So they had killed AK Death early in the fight. You can see AK Death's positioning here for spamming out. And then had already gotten a kill onto Big Bomb. So Lo-Fi using beat there was unnecessary. Because with it, Mercy E-Girl's ultimate was already a waste. It was like their attempt to clutch. But with speed, and even though it was damage boosted, they could have just waited it out or probably gotten eliminations even through it because it was 6v4. So I think the beat there was wasted. Well, let's take a look at Xtor's Ana here. Yeah, like in the background, getting peppered down by... Xtor doesn't want to use this nade defensively. Even uses it aggressively. Okay, I definitely would have kept it in reserve just in case, because not getting any support here from Lo-Fi. Like Lo-Fi's aura is just coincidentally, I suppose, near him at this point. But Xtor being this very aggressive Ana, wanting to use the nades aggressively, great aim here. Trying to go to sleep, it only messes up for the hook, just kind of like overtime nano sort of thing from ooh, I like this aim from Xtor. I wish I had aim like this, but I know that Xtor's Zenyatta is quite good. We're gonna see an aggressive nade here, maybe? Yeah. I like to see the immediate give up on the, yeah, there it is. That's what I like to see. I like to see just like the 2 shots on the Mercy. You know, the Mercy knows she's in threat, and then giving up and then going back to it. Nice shots. So, not kind of hard committing. Yeah, with 2 shots, just go do something else. You can't spend that long not providing healing to your front line and expect to win team fights. So. Are we going to see a nade early to try and make up for this? Nope. Good patience. This can be a mixed bag of positioning because you can see the soldier C's are there. I love this aim from Xtor. Very good. Yeah, trying to see that bubbles down. Now you're looking for an opportunity. Great, great. So that's exactly what you're wanting to look for on Ana, right? This could be a nano play onto the Reinhardt. Wanted to go for it, but it was a little bit of miscommunication there. Good job not wasting the nano after the main play is gone and dropping. So yeah, waiting to use that nade on the Reinhardt after the opposing Reinhardt had gotten bubbled and started swinging so that you can get that value between the heal buff and the heal block at the same time. That's a really good play from Xtor here. So I want to see this nano and then we'll start looking at blue team. So who would you nano here, chat? to get out of this choke, who would you nano? It could potentially still... Oh, no, not with that Dylan death, so... Lucio. Oh, hit it! Big! That shot allowed them to get... AK Death being a little bit too aggressive there. Now, Satharx is going to be able to poke this. Ooh, taking a lot of fire strikes, though. Alright. We want to take a look here. Let's take a look at Psycheric. Got the Earth Shatter here. That could be a potentially scary Earth Shatter if he lands it. There's a big flank. Again from Exor, trying to find that. Early Fire Strike, I wouldn't really found anything. Visor was already out. Did find one, so that's a pretty big advantage here. Alright, Psycheric, I apologize for spectating that, but you win some, you lose some. Unlucky. Hey, Volskunk, good to see you. Good block on the dynamite. Yeah, they are in. Oh, this could be big. Oh, the grab! Oh, shit! All right, Big Bob. Oh, there Huichuk's on the memes again with the Nano Bastion. All I know is pain. No. That'll be a lot of ult charge there. Moving out towards it. Don't move onto point like this. Oh, are they gonna get him? Yeah, so you definitely don't want to be on point like this against a Bastion setup like that. You do have to deal with the Bastion before you stand in an area where he can shell your backline or shell you. Yeah, so I mean they're gonna want to be using the projected bubble on the Zarya in order for that barrage to get the most value. But just you got to coordinate the timing on that as much as possible. Where I mean even Bastion or even Reinhardt, sorry, can charge in, either pin that Reinhardt shield out of the way so the barrage does more value, or pin the Bastion themselves. Bastion will only survive with 5 HP if you actually land that pin. So. The Diva swap. All right. Well, let's take a look at AK Death here, especially if he stays on the Bastion. Mercy E-Girl should swap upon seeing the Bastion. Soldier's not going to be enough. Something like Hanzo's going to be really good for the combination of the shield break, as well as having an ult that's better to counter Bastion. There's Huichuk getting punished, but so he's going to be on the Doom instead. Let's see Mercy here. Getting kind of pestered by this Lucio there, so Mercy E-Girl looking a little bit scared. Yeah, not going to be in a great position. So the position that they actually rolled out on at first in the window probably would have been a better position here. Ooh, nice little... Oh! Nice little frag there. So very kind of like center of the point. He's a risky position there. Definitely a vulnerable, high priority target. And I think that from the way that Mercy E-Girl is playing this, they know it. So I'd like to see kind of abusing more of this high mobility ability to reposition in order to get on better angles to like be an annoyance rather than being in such a high risk position trying to get more value. So, oh yeah, that Winston jumping into that's a situation where you know, if they're not going for you, they're going to be going for you soon. So I would have liked to have heard the audio cue reaction a little bit earlier to get to a better position. You definitely don't want to be in kind of a center of the objective position when you are playing Soldier. You're a squishy target at the end of the day. You got a nice juicy hitbox, only 200 HP.
Heroes never die.
Ooh, lost the Tracer. Yeah. We definitely would like to see the Helix being saved a little bit longer as well. Oh, wow, that Genji's playing on ping. Would like to be seeing the Helix saved a little bit longer as a threat to the Tracer. Because you want to be using, with this iteration of Soldier, it's going to be different if that experimental patch goes through, but with this iteration of Soldier, you can still hit the Helix melee, and without that, you're simply just not a threat to that Tracer, and that Tracer does have the option of words are hard, blinking in directly on top of you. So I'd like to see Helix being saved as a threat instead of being used for what is essentially chip damage against a Tracer. Alright, let's take a look at AK Death's Barrage here. Yeah, I think that Soldier's change to 2 rockets is honestly a nerf. Because they're giving him 2 rockets, but they gave each rocket 80 damage. Which means that Helix melee is not 150 anymore. Good idea to go for the trade. Beautiful engage. Now you can look for something to finish this up if necessary, but I love the fact that the main engage was the Winston, and instead of trying to go onto the Winston, there was the counter engage onto that Ana, when she was going to be really necessary in order to keep the rest of the team alive. So really good timing on that. Great kind of seeing what's happening and deciding the counter engage was a superior choice. So I really like that decision making. This is going to be a situation. Barrage has already been used. AK Death is no longer scared of the Genji. Getting 1 elimination. Now there's a hook, so it could be evened up. It is evened up. Now AK Death's going to have to look for a clutch play. Unfortunately, that clutch play is going to be on something which does not involve the Mercy helping him out, which makes it a lot harder. So probably the worst person that could have been in this situation. Now just got to stay alive. Don't want to be in too close because any damage they do at this point isn't going to help. So, okay, X-Tor is on that one. So really, really tough position that AK Death found himself in. I think the only really thing that AK Death could have done better is seeing that barrage, waiting it out. You don't want to give your position away. You want to be able to re-engage after it or look for another target to assassinate after the barrier just naturally decays. And with you already having the ult, there's no real point for you trying to shell people with barrier. Yeah, that's going to be a death. The combination of Lucio Soldier damage is going to be pretty high there. Okay. I do want to see this barrage, but we might not actually see it. Yeah, okay. So we're going to swap Dylan and Bastion, or Mercy Girl, I think. All right. Okay, so now we're going to have to look at Big Bomb, Psycheric, Thrawn, and Americ. Okay. Can we start on Americ? Absolutely. Just for you. Early damage boosting on the rockets. And the fire strike. Good. Like it. Like it. Enemy team is playing Ball Doomfist. Alright. So the Doom's definitely going to be going for rollouts here. And they've got to know that at this point. Bit of a slow reaction. You know, you want to be starting to pocket the target that's going to be Doomfisted as early as possible. Here the Tracer. Really good triaging of targets right now. I like the damage boosting as well. Following AK Death over. Yeah. Wow. Oh, that was... I don't think they're going to be able to res that. But that was a surprising amount of damage onto the Zarya really fast. It's unfortunate that things started falling apart the way that they did. There's yeah. I mean, as soon as that Zarya dropped, that was a lot of stuff that needed to be done, and too much for Mercy to be able to handle all at once. So, helping Thrawn there. Ooh, yeah, gonna have to walk back a bit. Where is Thrawn? There's Thrawn on the high ground. Okay. they going to deal with this Tracer? Oh, they pinned him off the high ground. Good stuff. I think that, like, with the Baptiste, I think that there's a little bit, you know, sort of thing where you can definitely pocket during the engages a lot more, but I don't think America is trusting the Baptiste enough to do the bulk of the healing. Ooh, Huichuk is back there on the tree. Oh, goodness, America! Get it! Get it! Get it! Get it! Get it! Yeah! Awesome. Anyway, I love it. I think that there are some situations where America is swapping off of high damage heroes too often, or even there's situations where in the Reinhardt trade, it might be better in order to damage boost the Reinhardt's swings and really good swap onto the Valkyrie here, trying to heal both tanks. I mean, them having to counter with Grav in order to actually win that is going to be really quite good. And it actually keeps the Zarya up, and that's resable. Could go for that and res on inside. I think she missed a really good res opportunity there. But yeah, ooh, that is just like just straight up wasting Grav, but maybe not if you can get one more kill off of it. For the trade onto Diana, it's a pretty high cost for a 1-to-1 trade, even if it is main support. Yeah. I think that was probably a communication problem. You know, if I assume that barrage wasn't communicated. I don't know for sure. But, yeah, Americ not knowing that barrage was coming in, having to try and find it, and just the unfortunate situation of the fire barraging, like, right on Americ is going to make it difficult sort of thing. So, yeah. I think that the main things from Americ here is going to be trusting the second healer, where it's like, you know, it's okay if somebody gets down to 250 HP, if you can kind of see into the future and know that there's no immediate threat of them taking the remaining 250 HP. And then using that damage boost utility and res utility whenever you can. So, yeah, like the positioning here is definitely erring on the safe side for the Mercy, and I like that. I mean, we haven't seen basically any first picks or really any kind of very dangerous situations. Had to use the window or the lamp early here, sort of thing. With the BAP up here, I would definitely match with the Hanzo. Yeah, Hanzo being a really high damage hero and knowing that he was going to get pressured. That sort of situation. Get out of there as much as you can. Yep. Good. I don't think you're going to survive that, but a valiant effort regardless. So. All right. Let's take a look at Thrawn now. Thrawn and his window. Okay. Window very early. Awesome. Getting this damage as well as the extra healing. Getting shattered in the backline, though. That's an unfortunate one. Hopefully is going to be enough for them to trade on this Reinhardt, or is he going to get away with that? He's actually going to get away with it, so. Great play from Thrawn. Even better counterplay from Big Bomb, though. So. All right. Solid round, though.
Initiating match.
Hello? Anyone out there?
Okay, let's take a look at how Thrawn plays this. All right, Thrawn, let's see it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Take a deep breath. Now.
Baptiste is going to be a pretty difficult one to play against Doomfist, and the main reason that it's going to be a challenging one is because your lamp isn't actually that useful. The main way, you know, it's like if you get punched or something, you're definitely going to be able to deal with the Doomfist. But in terms of like the lamp, you're just going to get uppercutted out of it and get killed by it. So the lamp is really not a big obstacle for Baptiste here. And in this situation, you're kind of seeing like the main, I suppose, benefit of the Doomfist, even when he's not actually getting a lot of value, is that, or not a value in terms of numbers, like damage and everything like that. You saw how Thrawn was like worried about this Doomfist and trying to deal with it because the Doomfist has proven to be a threat quite repeatedly. And that alone, just getting the distraction in the backline, is going to make it to where there's fewer resources going to the front line as well. This positioning is really good here from Thrawn. Going up to the high ground, that's going to be... He's going to need the... Okay, good. Regenerative burst. Now, the regenerative burst there is actually something that I don't think was necessary So the regenerative burst, in a situation where the tank was already fully out of the fight, it was probably not necessary in order to get that a little bit faster. It's going to be better to just wait the probably half a second required in order to... Ooh, good damage. And then ping like crazy. What the hell? Get him. Get him. He's got to be done. Get him, Brig. Okay, they got him. But yeah, so I think that like regenerative burst is better for situations where that slight increase in healing is actually going to be the difference between living or dying. But that ball was safe, and he wasn't going to regenerate until he got more healing. Great. Once again, fantastic window here. Need to have Exo Boost charged faster. Get back onto the high ground. Good stuff. Yeah, so I think that like one of the other things that Thrawn could be doing better here is having the Exo Boost charged more frequently. You don't have to hold down control because that adjusts your movement speed, but like moving around here, there you can see he's actually started doing it. He can hear me. But you can see how Thrawn is keeping the Exo Boost charged even when he has no immediate intention. Great lamp spot is actually going to be able to keep him up. Like putting it on the high ground there is going to make it that the uppercut is still protected him. Ooh, that's danger! Extor with the snipes finally taking out Thrawn, who's being an absolute menace up there. And I think blue team's going to get it. So honestly, really good plays from Thrawn. I think that just a little bit of like the stress from like the Doomfist. The attention is sometimes getting drawn a little bit off of the main objective or the thing that's important for Baptiste to actually be doing. But great damage, superb window usage, really, really solid plays there from Thrawn. All right, let's take a look at Big Bomb. It's gonna be a tough one unless he does some sort. Oh, he's going to the back line. Is this gonna be a knockoff? Oh! Beautiful! Oh my goodness, he landed that. Gorgeous high ground disruption. I don't think it's matter because Extor is doing so much on this Ana. The anti-nades are like, I think that Extor is actually one of the individuals in this team who is being like low-key one of the most impactful characters on the team. Really high value frags, especially for an Ana. Really high value anti-nades as well. Yeah, I think that Extor is probably red team MVP right now. Doing quite well. So Big Bomb getting chased by this Tracer. I mean, better him than interesting slam. I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of those mines there. This positioning's pretty decent, even though it's exposed and once again gonna get chipped down. You gotta get out of there. Yeah. So Big Bomb's general uptime on ball isn't super valuable here. You know, you do see that Ana is uniquely exposed, I suppose, being on that far high ground. And like the main tank disruption is good, but outside of that, he's not getting enough value in the fight. Something high value you could be doing is that like an Ana or a Widowmaker or an Ashe or a Hanzo or anything like that, playing on their own, ball needs to shut that down really hard. But you can see Extor here is, I mean, there's a Rein up here now, but Extor has been up there basically just untouched, and that's something that ball should be shutting down and getting in the face, especially even if that sleep lands. There's not really anybody on the rest of the team. The Doomfist can't help, the Tracer can't help, the tank line can't help, so that's definitely needs to be Big Bomb's job here.
The payload must move, or... No.
Not a lot you're gonna do there. That's a little bit of a GG. So when you are playing this ball Sigma composition, the ball Sigma composition is going to be better for holding different angles. But going toe-to-toe with the Rein Zarya is not going to be something that you really want to do. So they're in a pretty poor tank line for this matchup. Are they going to be swapping? They're on to double shield right now. Double shield only really going to be super useful with the Lucio. But they do have the window, so maybe Thrawn is going to go Lucio after this. I think I'm going to swap supports after this. I think I might swap a Merrick and Extor. We'll give Extor to the blue team so that we can see more of that utility and coming out. And then we'll give a Merrick to the red team for more of that single target talking. Ooh, very good reactionary window. Could retreat back in there in window if necessary. Trying to heal up the Brig, but that, yeah. Okay. I wanted to see the window. We'll stick on.
Então que eu vou uma cabeça, mano.
10 seconds remaining.
Actually, I think we'll do a 3-man swap. Good window, but let me look at that nade, right? That nade is so huge. I mean, like, Huichuk gets the final elimination, but it was Extor's nade that really won that fight. All right. All right.
2, 1.
Let's see what they're doing here.
Capture the objective.
Yeah, Huichuk definitely knows his rollouts. So we're getting one team doing the teleport play and setting up. Oh, they got the junk and the Roadhog. All right, so what did the enemy got? I'd like to see, you know, let's take a look at actually Mercy E-Girl. So let's see Mercy E-Girl on this flank here. That's really good. Take a breather's already done. Floating around, just trying to get some chip damage in from an off angle. Dylan already took somebody out, but that's gonna be hard. Has to, ooh, recalls to dodge the hook. That's good. You're gonna have to get out of here. Yeah, that hook is gonna be coming off cooldown. Just barely gets out of there. All right, we're pretty close to this pulse bomb, so really good work farming so far. Oh, that flick right click actually did a surprising amount of damage. Good stuff from Sathrox there. Yeah, this hog's causing Mercy Girl some troubles here. Could potentially pulse here. They are one up. Oh, just barely misses, but really good attempt. Oh, no. Okay, so Americ off the Mercy onto the Baptiste. Let's take a look at Americ's Mercy. Or, sorry, Americ's Baptiste here. Oh, I'm starting to sweat. I don't like it. Okay. Yeah. And Reinhardt dropping before the windows down is not the greatest. And then window, so especially if you have the window here, this would be a great opportunity to window fire strike, because you'll have two options to do it, right? You have the first one, as soon as the window goes up, you can get that first fire strike, and then when the second, like you have, if the Reinhardt waits long enough, you can get them to, you can have a second damage boost fire strike. And both of those fire strikes damage boosted 200 HP, or sorry, 200 damage. So it'll be enough to one-shot. So you don't actually have to like rush in with Reinhardt. You can basically be like an artillery cannon. It gets a lot of damage. Like they don't have a Diva, they don't have a Zarya. They're playing this Roadhog here, which allows them to actually, or does not allow them to stop that fire strike. So they either have to risk having one of their squishies get one shot, or take cover and give you a lot of space here. So, yeah. And then, unfortunately, there is Lo-Fi's sound barrier did get canceled. So, Americ doesn't feel or look as comfortable on the Baptiste as she does on the Mercy. And see what they got here. Who do you? Well, let's take a look at our new DPS player, Navarra. Whoa! Come on, I missed it! No! Oh, Vex is here, don't worry. Big move. Is this a public Discord? Yes, it is. Holy smokes, that was aggressive, especially for a Roadhog who still had his hook. Vex is messing with some sort of settings. Really aggressive use of blinks there. Excuse me? Holy shit, that tracking. Wow. That on a kill. I wish I could do that. Very, very aggressive footing. I would probably say too aggressive. I mean, maybe it's one of those things where he wants to show off for stream or something like that. But you never know. So, let's see how this goes. There's that Mercy. Could be looking for that pulse on the Ana. Yep. Okie dokie. Got a ringer in here, did we? So, I think that one of the cool things about the specific technique that they use to for that pulse, like this is, yeah, that seems to be like a little bit of a signature play from Victor. But the interesting thing to point out about that pulse bomb is the fact that is the fact that he blinked in knowing that he had the right distance, but instead of trying to specifically find the Ana in order to get the stick, it was a blink in based off of the distance and then a pulse on the floor, which is really good because if you miss it, there's still going to be the travel distance that is going to make the Ana capable of running away for it. But if you have the distance correct, you can just pulse the ground and the Ana can't get away from it regardless. Or if she does, it's a very, very easy chip damage finish off. So a very aggressive footing here. I think that that's probably going to be the main thing is like, I mean, if this is the way that you... a very, very... a player who is very comfortable on Tracer. So. Well, let's see this. I love the blink melee recalls. The aim and the tracking is really good. I think probably the main thing is going to be the over-aggressive use of blinks and recalls. I think that the main reason I think that you're going to see Navarra dying is going to be like running out of resources and not finding value. So, wow, got Xtor again. Xtor is not a happy person right now. But yeah, so slightly on the aggressive side. But I think that the main thing that I'd like to see is so far, I mean, like this, the ability, the mechanics, and the ability to go this aggressive is a huge benefit to a Tracer player. But you need to be able to match it with like knowing when to go like this, when to go ham, and needing to clutch. But I think that it's probably, like, I haven't really seen a passive playstyle at all, and there's definitely points in times where he's gotten punished for the lack of cooldowns where, you know, I suppose looking for the opportunities to go aggressive instead of always going 100 balls to the wall is likely going to get more value. But, I mean, look at that. Xtor, he's getting some revenge there. Let's see that barrage. Good off angle from AK Death, gonna survive. Gets the double direct on Lo-Fi as well. Somebody in the background. Yeah. Alright. There's a nice grab here. Not sure that was necessary from Sathrox, but... and Navarra getting slept as well. That's gonna be... Xtor is done with Navarra's shit. Alright, let's see this pulse bomb one time. Xtor is mad as hell. And he's not gonna take it anymore. Hey, Navarra. You having a good time? So, let's see what he does with this pulse bomb. Yeah. So, trying to be flashy. Yeah. This is another person who has quite good mechanics, we'll say. But I think the main thing being that just because it would be cool doesn't mean you should do it. So, yeah. Quite good tracking, though. Impressively so. The aim is very nice. I wish I had aim anywhere close to this nice. Also, this is one of those people who I think just processes the world faster than I do. But, yeah, and the other thing is that, you know, I kind of relate to this gameplay in some way. Not in the way that my mechanics are that good, in the way that often when I play, I try and find something that would be, like, the most challenging thing to do, or it would be funny if I pulled it off, and then I try and do it when, you know, a very passive, just fundamentals-based gameplay style would win the team fight in the game. So, you know, if you're in it to have more fun or limit test rather than being a purely competitive player, playing purely to win, I understand. So, let's see more Sathrox though. We haven't really looked a lot at Sathrox and Quagony. There's that punch coming in. Good trap from the Junkrat. Is he still gonna get out of there? Oh no, they got finished off. Good. Needs somebody in front of him. Yeah, he's out of blanks. See, it's like this is a very, very all or nothing style player in Navarra. Navarra, like you've got the hard part out of the way, which is the mechanics. You know, teaching him to have some other mode other than go, I mean, there is no reason that with Navarro's mechanics he couldn't hit top 500 if he's not already. Because like with this, like when's the last time you saw a Tracer have at 3700 have this level of mechanics? Fucking I can hit 3700 on Tracer with my level of mechanics. It's nuts that you're this low on Tracer with that mechanical skill. When Kabaji did unrank to GM, yes, I suppose that counts. Oh, and Extor lands another huge nade. That's going to get a kill on the Reinhardt, right? He's won. And he counter-slammed. Big Bomb got slept. Okay, he finally dies. All right. Blue team cleaning up, though. When's the last time I saw that? When there's foul play afoot. All right, Sathrak's almost at the graph here. Will there be an EU one? I think half the people in this lobby are EU, honestly. Oh, back out, back out. That's scary. What is your Rein doing? Oh my goodness. Shocked that your Reinhardt would decide that that was a great time to engage with a window sitting right there. I'm speaking as if Sathrox can actually hear me, but yep, just backing off. This is the correct decision here. Come on, you got to react faster than that to audio cues, especially when you know there's a Doomfist. This is a little bit tunnel visioning on using the grab, forgetting to do basic fundamentals, including keeping a good positioning. Very in the open, even without personal, not retreating to a safe space. And Huichuk is there to capitalize on that mistake. So, right, what is it with Zarya's and tunnel visioning? Zarya's either like can only focus on grab, can only focus on mechanics, or can only focus on bubbles. I can't seem to do all those things at the same time. You know, especially like the grab that just completely sacrificed positioning. And even after the grab was out, didn't try and find a good positioning afterwards. Let's see this hammer from Quaggity. For an opportunity. Very aggressive. Good, good. Not able to take advantage out of it, though. There's nothing wrong with shattering on the one to the side if it leads to elimination. So, you know, if you are going to be doing that... Did he just diag off of that tiny piece of geometry? Anyway. So too aggressive on the... Or too aggressive and then didn't actually match that aggression with the bubble. Had to bubble in hard shield after he's gotten into position. And there's no real point in matching this... he's going to recall up to the high ground. Yeah, there's the Doomfist to the right as well. There's the Doomfist in your back line. Well, at least he got punished. Wagon is just charging. I appreciate it as a last resort. You know, one of the things is that I actually really don't like charging as a last resort on Reinhardt, and the main reason for that is, like, chat, you've probably heard that it's like it's 50 damage for the boop on Reinhardt's charge. But if you actually connect with somebody on Reinhardt, it doesn't do any damage. It's only if you boop. So if you are going to die, it's much, much more impactful for you to try and get one more swing in than it is for you to try and get a charge. Because there's no way you're actually going to land. I mean, like 9 times out of 10, you're not going to land the pin and actually get an elimination. It's going to be too long. So that's kind of just one thing, is that if you are going to die, don't bother pressing shift. Get that extra swing in of damage. Wagone's getting bullied here, so... You know, I think that this is also going to be a situation where I think Quaggony's being too aggressive because he's trying to be this alpha Rein. And, you know, chat recognized him as an aggressive Reinhardt, where especially playing with a Junkrat and a Doomfist, right? You want to be not taking a fight with the enemy main tank, but trying to actually control them into location, which is favorable for your Junkrat. As well as if you can get the opponent to play in an area where they... have a flank on either one of their sides, it opens up a window of opportunity for your Tracer to actually find more value. Instead of, like, if you really push them up, the location that the Tracer needs to get to, Extor, oh my god, the location that the Tracer needs to get to in order to actually be on a flank or be behind is moved that much farther up. So I don't like the aggression here when matched with the DPS that they have. Sai doesn't need to drop there unless was it to contest? Yeah, I don't like Sai dropping there. I think that Sai could have stayed on the high ground. Big pulse doesn't quite kill the Baptiste. Dylan's trying though. That slam's gonna kill. All right, let's take a look at who he tricked here. He's got the shatter. He's gonna have to meteor strike that. Probably go for the Ana. Ana's already dead. On the high ground just so we can slam some. What? Oh, it's my Doomfist play. We'll look at Lo-Fi, X-Door, and then Psycheric. And then Big Bomb, apparently. Lo-Fi, X-Door, Psycheric, Big Bomb. We'll watch this initial rollout just for you, chat. Very good. Oh, he's dead. Get this boop. Get this boop. Oh, look at Lo-Fi. Look at Lo-Fi doing this scout. You can also get a big boop there into the cliff if you see people going up the stairs. It's hyper aggressive, but you can do it. I love Lo-Fi's high position. Like, this is great for shelling, getting some damage in, as well as doing shit like that. Oh, that's just wonderful play from Lo-Fi. Reach your feeds. Oh. Clearing up some of those turrets. Yeah, I assume, like, we'll hop into comms, but I assume Lo-Fi is doing some calling along with this scouting, so let's check it out. Okay.
That was such a messy fight.
2 works.
Okay, we're coming up on our Shatter, our Doom. We're coming up on a lot of stuff. Like, take the high ground. Off start.
I can go in through window. You can bubble me.
Oh, left side there's a jump.
Okay.
Left side there's a jump.
Alright, I have bubble. Let me
Yeah, I'm
know,
going
dude.
in. I'm
Tell me
going
when you
in.
need speed, Zarya.
Bubble, bubble.
Bubbling.
I'm seeing. Walk.
Smash
Big.
Run.
Is he dead?
Next.
Get turrets. Run next.
Oh, what?
Okay, he's off the map.
Weird. Okay.
So you can hear he's not doing strategic calls, he's not doing ult calling, he's not doing fight
I'm
planning.
gonna set up. If they
can
go
we
high
break
ground again,
the-
I can boop them off.
Yeah, he's doing like
Where is this
small tactical
Can
calls.
you play into the door?
Yeah, so like this is really good, and this matches his
No,
play
no,
style,
no,
right?
no, this
The
is-
halt.
He's playing higher to see things, call people out of
Alright,
position,
we are very
take advantage
split.
of opportunities. This is a character, or this is a playstyle that gets really, really good situational awareness, and he's properly taking advantage of that with his calm style as well. So this is a kind of
Can
Lucio that I would be
we
very happy to find in my
groove
ranked
here?
game.
Oh, what?
Ideal.
I freaking hate happening.
He's on the wrong side though, isn't he?
Ah shit, now I'm gonna die. Oh.
Yeah, he got out of there though.
The
Hey,
back
he's
cap?
doing really good scouting. I think that like
Taking high ground,
maybe,
top right.
He could be
Coming
getting
with
more
you.
value like with the team.
I'm gonna do
we're
the same
coming up-
thing.
I think that it-
Yeah,
his
they're gonna have
playstyles were
ults here,
fine
so we need
quite
to just
nicely,
take this
so.
fight
I
incredibly
see
Someone
that
when you're
sound
dropping.
better.
Can we let her do
Bubble.
disengage and then
Oh.
push?
What?
Oh, okay.
They're
I
fighting
thought
against
you were
6
engaging.
ults here, so
Yeah. Tell me when you have bubble.
3, 2. I'm set.
I'm going in.
Go engage. Walk.
Backlines, grab. Big grab.
he didn't get it through the
Huge grab.
Walk up. Rein, above you.
We need to destroy these team turrets.
Oh
They
wait,
bongoed.
sorry, red was his
Yeah.
symmetric.
Okay.
Wait, what?
I'm gonna set up for a
Oh my
touch.
god, the colors. Why? Why spectator
I can
client?
help all the
Why are you
retouch as well.
dumb?
We have window.
Anyway, so with that, I would have liked to see the transition
Yo, I can go for Sim, actually.
through
I'm on, I
the
touch.
symmetrical wall on the other
Sim,
side.
sim.
Team one.
Yeah, ult did get
Watch
blocked.
out for
Running.
trap.
I'm trapped.
Yeah, I'm not with you guys.
Run on your back. Run behind you, Bap.
So the main thing there that I'm trying to say, chat, is that like the symmetrical wall went up. He was red team. The wall was red, but it was blue team's symmetrical wall. So what I'm trying to say there is that his ult got blocked, and you can put your sound barrier on both sides of the wall. I want to see this. This was the boop. This was the boop. Oh, it was a Symmetra TP that he got. Big. Big. Yeah, so like you can apply your sound barrier to people on both sides of the symmetra wall by landing on one side and walking through it within 2 seconds. It's got a 2-second cast time where anybody who is within your LSS at any point during those 2 seconds gets the sound barrier. It's not an instant application. It's like a very technical term. Please, Junkertown. Oh, Navarro's on Genji now. I wonder if he plays Genji as aggressively. Yeah, let's look at more X-Door. Get him, X-Door! Yeah! Ooh, this is... X-Door's not feeling comfortable with that position. There were so many things that he wanted to do, couldn't find immediate value. Great sleep, though. That Genji's gonna get woken up. Come on, Sathrox, you can do better than that. At least right-click him if you're gonna do that. Oh my god, Navarro can't keep getting away with this. Okay. Well, Sathrox eventually got him. What's X-Door's XR? 3,700. I honestly think that X-Door plays way better than 3,700, though.
Watching your back.
I like this positioning really far back, knowing that they have a Doom, an aggressive Lucio, and a Tracer. I like this positioning a lot. This is good stuff. There's a lot of low targets that he could be potentially going for. You know, like Navarro's not going to get value with X-Door there. Big anti as well. I mean, just that little bit. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I could sing your praises all day long, X-Door. Oh my goodness. Great positioning. Fantastic aim to actually have really high impact shots. Really, really good play. Really, really good play. But yeah, it's like just this really safe positioning back here. You know, the difficulty... Oh, good nano. Let's take a look at this. Can't break that lamp with the first swing. That's the difficulty. Where are you going, Mr. Fuchik? Valiant effort. Alright, let's see what Psycheric's got. Psycheric was the next one you wanted to take a look at, Chad, right? Misclick XD. Back to spawn with ye! Alright, Psycheric. The ult's coming up. There's high ground. Hard to use the personal bubble at a little bit of energy. Oh, goodness. The ghost dash out of there. Yeah. Okay, Death's going to be looking for that again. It is going to get rezzed, but I think they're already down one. Yeah, Navarro's still coming back from spawn. So here, dropped off the high ground. Going to want to get back up there. I don't think the drop was intentional. The lamp's already down. They're going to have to do some sort of... Alright, very early. A counter grab. What? Alright, well that was a bit of a roulette play. Both teams grabbed pulse bombs and both traded for 2. Not the worst play in the world. Especially knowing that they had pulse. Like, they must have been setting that up. Okay, goodbye, X-Door. It was nice knowing you. But, I don't, like, okay, you know, it'd be good to be looking at X-Door during that, but, because there was, like, I think that, probably one of the main things that we could give, like, X-Door to improve on is going to be actually, you know, working with his team to make his positioning make sense. Because we saw it when, didn't really know how to kind of reposition mid-fight in order to maintain effective And then it's that really like getting a late stagger like that because your hard scope is going to be a difficult one. So that right click melee should finish him. Yep. So good on Psychic. Really high impact frags there. I love the right click melee finishers. Are you going to be able to finish this off? They got a projected bubble here. Oh no! The res is going to come out though. On the Genji as well. But the res actually got interrupted, didn't it? Yeah, I think Lo-Fi flew out of range, unfortunately. So Weechuk's going to clutch this out though. Okay. Red team's getting it. Let's, I want to take a look at Psycheric's grab again here. I mean, you don't generally... I see one question in chat says, wouldn't the counter grab pulse be better with the attacker's spawn advantage? I don't think that that's a factor that you can reasonably take into consideration when deciding whether to counter grab. There's a lot of things to think about. That's probably pretty low on the priority list. I'm not sure a personal bubble is required there. The Winston's not going to be firing something like a Hanzo arrow or something that's actually going to be getting a lot of energy. I think it was probably wasted there. And it's not like you're actually going to be blocking the damage that the Winston is putting out onto your Widowmaker. Yeah, looking for a right click as soon as that... probably should have right clicked. Just, I'm not too mad about it, but it's not super impressive. I like that he's not putting too much thought into the grab, like overthinking it. Just getting that frag is really quite good. Yeah, and it's definitely going to be... It's definitely going to be a one fight, so that's not the worst, you know? And I don't know, I got, you know, just from watching in the first-person perspective, you know, the fight could have turned against them, so confirming that kill just on the Zarya with the one-man grab, bubbling in Huichuk to get there, transitioning as well in order to try and get some right-click damage here. This is good stuff. Braun's in trouble. Not staying to bubble Huichuk, but pretty good play from Psychic. Yeah. Good stuff. And the next person you wanted to look at, chat, was who? Big Bomb? Perfect. He's got ultimate. I think the thing that makes me happiest about Psychic's play is that he's not trying to tunnel vision on any one thing. And considering that's been the main problem that I've seen with Zarya's, the fact that he's a little bit scuffed on bubbles, a little bit scuffed on grab, but he's doing all three things well, I'm happy about. Good drop, good backing out from Big Bomb. Counter push. Where's this bubble coming in? There's the personal. Good job from Psychic to kind of give... I would like to see a little bit more aggression there. Unnecessary hammer, certainly. But Reinhardt had no reason to drop his shield and was also probably tracking it, so... Yeah, a lot of unnecessary shielding here from Big Bomb. I would charge immediately. Yep. Alright. Nanoblade gonna nanoblade, I guess. Nobody else shooting it. You only needed to deal 100 damage to the Genji. Come on. It only does 150 to Nano Genji. It needs 50 damage, which, you know, the 100 damage pre-reduction. Or did he get bubbled? I didn't see that. I would definitely be jumping up on those boxes, swinging underneath them. Right here. Yeah. It's kind of funny. It shielded when it should have been swinging and swung when it should have been shielding. That was almost like exactly the opposite that you wanted in that specific situation. So, yeah, Big Bomb, like, I think that it's not really like shield management that's a problem, but because his shield isn't breaking. It's not like he's hard shielding damage, but just generally knowing when to shield and when to actually go aggressive is a little bit of a struggle here for Big Bomb. Shouldn't have been that far up. He had Weechuk on the flank to touch. Are they in a really electric cowboy? Oh my goodness, why would you electric cowboy that? Ah! They got a kill. Worth it, PogChamp. This is a round masters. You really just want to watch more Doomfist, do you? Alright. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, That's not where he wants to be.
Stop the pain.
Okay, well, I don't know why you wanted to watch that, chat. We got some Genji here. Oh, he eats the Venom Mine there. Close, but that's going to be a hard commit. Oh my goodness, he's alive. Yeah, so I don't think AK Death mains Genji, but I mean Genji's going to be a really squishy target, especially if he gets caught out or hard to commit to something. Like, especially if he goes after something and there's like a Zarya nearby or a Winston or something that can shoot through that reflect, because you don't have that ability to get out if it is there. So, that's dangerous. So. Yeah, and there's also like against better widows, there's a lot of opportunities where you almost want to be like peeking with reflect, because a lot of widows will almost be able to be reactionary to shooting you at the high reload. So like the reflect is still leaving some gaps where a widowmaker could have abused it. What is Big Mom doing there? And I had that same animation happen to me the other day, where you like the ledge climb during the actual dash. It's weird. But either way, I'd like to see him be using, especially with playing with the Winston, using these dives as cover. And like here, I would have liked to see a retreat instead of going more aggressive, since both cooldowns had already been used. So especially when you are playing with this team, just going with the Winston is going to be good enough, because then you can use his bubble or his body in order to tank, as well as help the Winston finish those eliminations. So the main thing here, I mean, there's a lot of things that we could work on, but just on like a micro level, just synergizing with your Winston. At the bare minimum, that's what you need to do. Reflecting that fire strike. Oh, you already used a reflect, but yeah. So I want to see this blade though. Oh no. So whenever possible, if you are going to be using that nano blade, like when you dash up to get the nano, well, the main thing that you're going to be doing is using the drop in order to scout and find your target. But you do want to actually, even especially in nano blades, you want to be dashing onto a target, preferably short dashing, so that they actually get the dash damage done to them, and then you can actually do the slash afterwards, because that's going to be the one shot. Because if you use that first dash just for mobility, you're going to require the second slash in order to actually get a kill, and that's going to slow things down considerably. So that's you know, the double dash is for scouting and then for dashing onto a target. But if you're too far away and you need to use both dashes just to close the distance, it's going to really fuck up, you know, the efficacy of the blade, really. And you need to get that first kill as quickly as possible, because, I mean, during a blade, everyone is going to be focusing on you with everything. Every cooldown, every ultimate of the game is going to be focused on you. So if you can't very quickly score an elimination, it's going to be a rough day. And also, dashing vertically, it makes you more predictable on the drop down, and makes you more predictable on where you're going to dash to, because you have to use that second dash in order to close the distance. So there's other ways for you to start that blade that are better than using the double dash to close distance just straight up. So, all right, let's take a look at X-Tor. He's got this nano. I'll just start looking at people who have their ultimates now. Alright. Is he going to save for Nanoblade? Probably, but nobody else in the lobby has their ultimate right now.
Why is the payload stopped?
I like it. I like it. That's why you do it.
This is not your time.
Okay, so we are going to see another Nanoblade.
You're covered.
Or not. So really poor coordination there, well, I think we'll say. But let's see how Navarro uses sights. Probably immediately. You know, maybe waiting 3 to 5 seconds just to make sure that they're rolling back a little bit. But using this in order to see where the opponent is coming from and positioning in a place where this is actually... Excuse me. Yeah, this is going to be a great place just to be able to get an idea of where they're going to be rolling up from. So this is, again, a little bit of an arrogance one. You know, he did that to try and see the... But yeah, understanding where everybody is located and seeing them coming in is going to be a really powerful thing. But I think the activation timing was based on trying to score a kill on that Genji. So there's the nano boost. I really like this nano boost target, especially since they weren't able to be using it on the Genji. Using it because it can chain into the primal. So he got nanoed at around 80% to his primal, and you don't want to be nanoing primal. You can nano after primal, especially since they'll get that jump refresh and they can know that they're going to get it to go even deeper if the primal wasn't enough. But using it in order to chain it into primal can be this really, really solid tempo play. So it could have been a ping thing. Yeah, trying to do the 180. He's getting to cart. Where's Xtor? Is Xtor going to be enough to heal that up? Yes, absolutely. There's going in again. He's got the primal. Is going to be chasing after the Widow. Good boop. Going to be able to get that kill. Oh, the beat. At this point, I would just leave. You don't want to feed more ult charge. Unfortunate. So with you know, ending primal as well is going to be able to refresh your jump. So you can jump out and then you get a second jump charge that you can use a second time to get out. So let's see how Big Mom uses mines. I don't think it's going to be necessary. The fight's already pretty much over. It's not really a way to fuck this up other than not use that. Big Mom getting a solid kill here. Trying to boop Sathrox away. There's another touch from the Lucio here. Thrawn is on. Ooh, yes, the mine. Oh, almost got Thrawn into a mine there. Got Thrawn into the mine the second time. Leechhook is back on this point here. All right, let's see this. And there we go. There's that point. Okay. All right, GG's everyone.
GG's friend.
GG.
GG.
GG's.